Last time on Desperate Attune, the crew members were recovering from the injuries they'd picked up during the last score. Despite carrying a cut to the gut, Saida was at home trying to get some shut-eye. It was too hot to sleep, and as they were tossing and turning in bed, they felt an otherworldly presence in the dark room, accompanied by the smell of rotten mangoes. It was enough to set even Samum on edge. Fleeing the imminent danger, Saida sought shelter from Salman, the king of lies. She found him in the Catskriel market down by the well, and told him what had happened. Salman explained that this was the fallout of Saida's past actions. The ontological shift in Ypres had stirred something in the Blackwood, and now it was pursuing her. He offered to call this presence out, and Saida did not back down. Salman spoke the word, and the umpire, Uduasha's guardian of mangoes, stepped out from the shadows. The creature rushed Saida, grabbing them by the face, and accused them of stealing the taste of a mango from it. Saida countered by claiming that she could not have stolen the taste of the mango, as the taste of all mangoes was already theirs. This was a lie, but it was said with such conviction that the umpire recognized Saida as one of the immortal beings of the Blackwood. But it was not all good news. As it turned out, the umpire had taken possession of Ifede, the lordkeeper who'd helped the crew with their first Blue Smoke troop score. Saida invoked the protection of the King of Lies for Ifede as well, and the umpire returned her, though Ifede already had one foot in the grave. With little regard for their own injuries, Saida carried the half-dead lordkeeper back to the Rising Moon School and passed her on to Mushfiq. Though he didn't quite understand why Saida was carrying the near corpse of a woman while they themselves were bleeding out, Mushfiq did as he was told and carried Ifede the rest of the way to Aaron's clinic. Back at Aaron's, Bidrahi was trying to socialize with Clem, and Clem was trying not to socialize with Bidrahi. The meandering conversation reached a dead end when Bidrahi mistakenly believed that Clem had got a lobotomy. Mushfiq saved the scene from getting any more awkward by bursting through the door with the Ifede slung over his shoulder. Aaron was a bit annoyed at this, but he kept his Hippocratic oath, patching Ifede up with Clem's help. When they had a moment alone together, Bidrahi pressed Mushfiq on his feelings for Clem. As was typical of him, Mushfiq denied having any feelings for anyone, but Bidrahi was persistent, and Mushfiq eventually confessed. Delighted at hearing this, Bidrahi made it his solemn duty to get the two together. Soon after, Saida arrived at the clinic and wisely passed out. When she came to, it was time to have a chat about the crew and its future, particularly with regards to the Prince of Endings. Bidrahi was none too happy. Saida had been risking life and limb over this, and it was a reason for the Falling Stars to go to war with the crew. Saida replied that she didn't really expect Bidrahi to understand. Unlike him, they'd all lost their homes, and Saida would rather die than remain here like this. But even that wasn't acceptable, and so Saida would end them instead. This wasn't entirely true, Bidrahi said. He might not have experienced the loss of Ketris like the others, but he had lost home after home in Uluwasha, and been pushed around by the very same powers that Saida had taken aim at. He understood what it meant to take up the sword and protect what was theirs, but for the first time, he didn't understand what they were really fighting for. He didn't understand the Prince of Endings, and that scared him. Thank you for listening to Desperate Attune. You can support us with a one-time donation on Ko-fi, or for $1 a month on Patreon for access to bonus content such as experience, post-game banter, and a newsletter by Tree.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks, and that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama.
Then let me tell you about the Prince of Endings. I woke up one day and Khatam was half ruined. They were destroying some of the houses so they could make their own farms. And when I say them, there were Kethrisi there doing it. And I thought, well, it's not the land or the trees or the people that's giving them this power. It's the 5 demon princes. And I wouldn't accept that. The Emperor broke the gates of death, they say. And I have met beings in this world who've done things that I cannot describe. And so have you. And so I decided that becoming one of those beings would be my goal. And then I failed at that. And I was again some poor old bastard lying dead in a ditch. And then I realized that I could not be that. I had to make it. And it's been many years of wandering and making mistakes and learning and unlearning. And when I settled on this, it wasn't it wasn't anything more than me deciding it would be sick as shit, Bidrohi. So when you say, oh, I don't understand what we're fighting for, I think you do. I think you know as well as I do that things that are sick as shit don't really mean anything. Except that we want them. And people keep taking them away from us. So I thought I'd make something that was so sick that even if they tried taking it from me, the process would kill them. And I'm doing it because I'm selfish. I didn't go out there and ask whether any of my fellow villagers wanted me to. I didn't consult with the elders. I didn't meditate with the trees. I was dying in a ditch, and someone much like Aaron patched me up. And as I was recovering, I thought, well, fuck this. I don't have some great truth to give you, except to say that so many of us have had that thought. And the nature of your loss is different to the nature of mine. And you're right, I forget it. Sometimes I discount it. But the nature of my loss, that's why I'm doing it. I'm fighting because I want everybody to know that that's what happened to me. And the Prince of Endings will make sure they know. Of that, I have no doubt. That's my little speech.
He gave a little smile when you started talking about things being sick as shit. Then he asks, and when the Prince of Endings raises his sword over Uduasha and brings it down to strike dead all the people who did this to us, did it to you, because if it happened to you, it happened to all of us, because you have stories and we all have stories, right? But when he brings that sword down, what will happen to Tumdurji, or my friend Leo, or Bahadur, or Mumtaz, or the Bob, right? Jackal, all these people who are not Kethrisi, but who live here and have been beside our enemies, profiting from in one way or another from our misery. What will the Princess Sword do to them?
I don't know. And if you want there to be an answer to this, and if you want that answer to be something that you can live with, then I need your help. Because I know that if it was up to me, all of those people you spoke about wouldn't even figure. It would only be about the noble houses and the demon princes. And the small people who die, well, that's how it goes.
Okay. Then speaking as small guy, little guy, to 3 people who are big in my hearts, but let's face it, also little guy. Also, Erin bhai, you're also little guy. Just some little guys. I think I want to make this formal. I called you Ustad, Saidanti, because someone was strongly implying you didn't deserve that title. And someone tried to kill you. Now, I want it to be fully for real. Will you take me in as like your chela so that we can take back what's ours, do the right thing, and make sure that the swords don't hit the people who don't deserve to be hit by the swords?
I can only hope that was already true, Vitrohi. Because it was always true for me.
Mm-hmm. I think he reaches down and squeezes your hand. And then he says, but this is me accepting your story and saying, yes, I will do it. I will be with you. I'm saying it, it's true. Shere Khatam has his own story, and sibling Clem, whom we love, isn't even one of us. So I cannot speak for them. But my hand is here, and I extend my other hand.
Somebody
I think
taking the
Clem's
other
going
hand?
to- Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I think Clem's going to take it. And they are going to invite Saida to speak another name. And they say, a prince of endings must also be a king of beginnings. Do you not agree? And
I
this
think
would
Saida
form me out,
Okay.
but I am going to give you the help action
Okay.
if you would like
Excellent.
it.
So I think that it's very important that I get the help. Because it's important that we collaborate, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many traumas are you on? Oh, you can
3.
just
I
give me
mean,
a
we
third.
could make it a group action.
Yeah, I think group action is better. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on 3 to be like I'm 2 away from 3, but I think a group action is better also because we're acting as a group. Isn't it nice? Yeah. So I'm happy to do a group action Attune to call the King of Beginnings.
Mm-hmm. And why is this an action? What is the goal here? Because you can just do this, right? Your ability just lets you do it.
Yeah, but I think so. We actually never really discussed what discovering new names would look like. So, like, we've got one.
Yeah.
I think we've got one, right? Like,
okay.
I don't even know if
I have an idea.
How I will frame this then? Okay. Now go ahead. Klow?
No. I was going to say something, but then I realized that it doesn't make sense. Please continue.
Okay. I will frame it this then. If you want to make this an action, then if you are naming the King of Beginnings, then you can get a possible outcome of succeeding on Attune here is getting a vision of things that will begin. I think that's
great.
May I suggest a different outcome?
Uh-huh.
So the Prince of Endings is itself a malleable thing. It doesn't exist yet. We don't know what it means.
Yeah.
And by giving it another name, King of Beginnings, yes, sounds cool. But again, what does it mean? And I think this conversation is about guiding what this entity, once it becomes, what it will do and what it will mean. I would like, if this succeeds, that we each then have some sort of power to guide the shaping of this creature.
Sounds
to
great.
our ideals.
Yeah, very cool.
That's
Okay.
what I was going for.
How I will frame it is it will give all of you the ability to work on the long-term project Prince of Endings. I think we'll frame it simply as that.
Right.
And you can shape it with your actions and with your things going forward. Very good.
Is it
So
like
I think
a 60-tick clock?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a very It's a big
Steel
clock,
Weavers has
obviously.
Steel Weavers has nothing on this clock.
It's a long clock, but I think it makes sense to establish it here. So we can roll a group action to begin this project, absolutely.
Makes sense.
And
I'm happy to lead this.
Yeah.
And group action Attune makes sense.
I think I will frame it. I think I will frame it as having stakes actually, and I will call it risky standard. And the standard effect is what Klow said happens. Like you each get attuned to the Prince of Endings. It will no longer just be Saida if this succeeds. And if this doesn't succeed, you will have to find some other step you will have to do first to accomplish that, because I think it's a worthy goal. And the possible consequence, I think, is there is basically just one person in all of Uduasha who knows about the Prince of Ending other than Saida, and it's Klev.
Correct. Yes.
And I think he is the risk here.
Yeah, that's great. That's incredible. Yeah. So I will say that I have not studied the King of Beginnings. I don't think I get a die for him. But of course, when I speak of the devil, I speak a name of the Prince of Endings and he stirs. Whatever, bro. Don't worry about it.
What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you like this?
Don't worry about it. I don't even know why. Hey, it's just 8 XP in an ability that neither the GM nor the player understands. It's fine.
And it's great.
Yeah.
Fine
So
and
risky
great.
standard Attune. I have rolled a 5.
Cool.
Okay, this is for this weird working on a long-term project, right?
This is to establish the existence of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Risky standard is fine then.
It has now succeeded. We will see if someone gets a 6 who is involved. And I have named this project The End of the Beginning, the first name of the prince.
Excellent.
Nice.
6! Bidrohi, you know what? Excellent. Bidrohi should be the one who gets the 6 here.
I got a 6 too, but I got to take the lowest, which was a 3.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 stress is perfect because I still don't trauma because I have so many extra stress boxes.
Very good. So, this happens. And I think you have this, you swear this vow here in Aaron's little shop, right? Like you bring yourselves together. And this is not the kind of thing where there is any immediately obvious supernatural consequence, but you have spoken the words.
Yeah.
And you know that they will matter. And I think before there was a Prince of Endings, right? Now there is a faith.
Yeah.
That is the effect of all this. And you all sort of feel it, like a faith exists, and it will be up to you to decide its future.
Oh fuck, we're a cult now. No.
Yeah. Every Blades crew becomes a cult eventually, it's fine.
Yeah. And I explicitly, basically, was setting out to make a cult, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good.
Yeah, I've added this project to the crew sheet. It is now something that you can work on. And every time you do work on this, we establish a truth about the Prince of Endings.
Nice.
Very
fucking cool.
Yeah. I will say this should be The End of the Beginning, the second name, because the first name is the Prince of Endings. We know this.
Yes, that is true.
Arguably name 3. If the King of or maybe this is us establishing the King of Beginnings section. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
As important as this is, my real concern here is when Clem took my hand, whose hand is Shirakatam holding?
No one.
Saida's third hand. Which is the demon hand. It's the hand of the sash. Because Samum is also part of our cult. I don't know if that's true.
Sure, why not?
Actually, I mean, with a 6, if I can get Samum also as a part of the cult, that is hilarious.
Oh yeah, Samum is part of the cult. Samum, let's remember, loves you.
Yes, great. Okay, yeah, cool.
Samum is converting to this faith so that they can be with you.
Yeah, that is the only reason. But
great. Well, you know what? It's fine. That's how
What's wrong with, say, the second hand? Is Saida using both hands to hold one of Mizrahi's?
No. You know what? There's nothing wrong with the Saida's second hand. I can hold your hand.
Yeah, I think the idea was that Saida was holding Clem and Bidruhi's hand, maybe, but...
It's fine.
Right, then not wanting to miss out. Then what would happen, like for Mushfiq in character, would be if not wanting to miss out, he'd just get in between Saida and Clem and make sure that Aaron's not getting in here.
Very good.
Mushfiq,
Aaron,
the
who
kind
has
of person
absolutely no interest. But
Mushfiq, the kind of person who joins the group photo at the last minute and just slides in and is just lying on
Yeah.
his side with his hand on his with his
Yes.
you know the pulse, his finger pulse.
Right.
I know what you mean, yeah.
uh-huh. Very good. Now I'm picturing that there's for some reason like a group photograph, like the founding of our cult.
We would insist that
We've all
Aaron
got
takes this
copies
photograph.
of it.
Yeah.
We've all
Aaron's
got
got
copies of
Aaron's
this
got a camera.
photograph.
Mhm.
We put it in our wallets.
Yeah.
Yes. He's
Very
got a
good.
camera that he uses to photograph wounds, and we insist that he uses this on us.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Aaron takes a photograph of all of this.
Bidra, insists.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's be
Uh-huh.
clear. Who is doing the insisting?
Okay, very cool scene. I have one thing in mind as you leave, and it is simply you walk out of this clinic, right? Like you leave it probably together because Aaron needs space, and everyone has been cleared to leave because all of you have level 1 harms now. So
Yeah.
like he's done what he can, and let's face it, it's not
I'll
like
just,
modern hospital settings.
I'll just spend my last free downtime action to finish my healing.
Okay,
Mm.
sure, you can do that now. Then just roll it.
Yeah.
Let's. Aaron gives you some medicine. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. That's what this roll represents.
Very good.
So roll 2 dice.
Yeah, I mean, I was one tick away, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you finish the clock and you are fully healed.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. So you walk outside and Mushfiq just gets like bumps into a guy, and that guy like stops you a second, and he says, "Oh, sorry. Hey, were you carrying that injured woman before? Is she okay?"
Oh, interesting.
Mushfiq looks down at this guy. Do I recognize him?
No, he's a perfect stranger. He's dressed like kind of nicely for being in this part of town. He looks like he may be one of the like foremen, workers at some place. Maybe he's got sturdy work boots on. You don't recognize him. He just seems to have taken an interest.
I think the recent events would have made Mushfiq a bit more suspicious of
Mhm.
strangers asking these questions.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "And you're just a concerned citizen, are you?"
Nah, I get in scraps sometimes. My friends get in scraps. I figured if you know a medic around here.
Mm.
Who's asking?
Oh. He, I guess he introduces himself. Yeah, sure. He flashes like a brief, sort of flustered smile, and now I need a name for this guy because I hadn't thought of one.
I love the idea of trying to deny that we know a medic when we're clearly all bandaged up.
Yeah.
No,
I've never seen a medic in my life, and I don't intend to start now.
I
Well,
guess
he didn't ask.
yeah.
He
Okay,
didn't,
he's
he didn't ask,
called.
"Do we know a medic?"
Yeah.
He wanted to know where this medic was.
Yeah.
Completely different.
I think he introduces himself. So he goes, "Oh, Ramli, I work down at the works around the corner because this is in I forget the name of the district now.
Golampit.
Golampit, yeah, like the industrial part." So he like points in a direction. He was like, "I work at the, works over there. Factories, accidents, you know how it is." And you can totally take some sort of action here. He is, as far as you can tell, it's just a guy who approached you and was like, "I saw an injured woman. I want to know if there was a good medic, if she's all right, if you can recommend someone." But you
Okay,
can totally
so I
take an
think-
action to like study this guy or whatever.
I think what I'm trying to do
Mm-hmm.
is, I don't know if I'm studying the person or I'm going to say survey because survey is going to try to get a sense of what's going on. So this is more like a sixth sense kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Survey to try to
Yeah.
get a sense of what's going on. Look him over quickly. Give him a 1-up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's controlled standard. Like there's very little risk, and I think you can get this information.
Okay. Let's get this information
Mhm.
with a 6.
Nice.
Oh, incredible. So, I am going to create a clock, but not tick it, because you succeeded on this action.
Mhm.
It hasn't started ticking, but it might.
Okay.
And it is 4 o'clock, and it's called The Water Bearers Come for Aaron. And you realize that when he says he works at the works, he means the water works, and he's one of the water bearers who have been keeping an eye on you guys, because you guys have been stealing water. But Aaron, of course, who steals vast quantities of water to use for his medical procedures, is much more interesting to them. And we have established that Aaron is like squatting. He's not allowed to be where he is. And he has access to all the pipes. So
Keys.
Uh-oh.
you look this guy up and down and you recognize, and I think the reason you do it, right, is that he looks like a workman, but his clothes are slightly nicer, his shoes are nicer, he has like a pocket watch, and the water bearers make cash. Like, they're working class, but they're rich working class. Because they control the water, right?
Yeah.
So you piece it together. He's one of them.
Alright, okay. So
And I think you would be well aware that Aaron steals water. Like, I think that's obvious to anyone who's in his.
Well aware.
Yeah.
Haha.
Haha,
So
indeed.
funny, so funny.
Uh-huh. Anyway, yeah, that's
Indeed,
the
So we just punch this guy and walk away?
No, I was gonna say, no, medic, nothing like that. That too, I mean, sort of. I guess, sort of. I'm a medic, like from the army, that sort of thing. Yeah, we patch her up. Yeah.
Okay, my mistake. He says, well, have a good day. Claps you on the shoulder, right? And he heads off. Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this happened like pretty much immediately as you exited. He's like, very suspicious. But what happens here is that this clock does not tick because they have no further clues. So really, the reason this clock has appeared is that you're now aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is my way of bringing in the water bears. Klow, you have suggested bringing them in like for you a couple of times, but I think this makes way more sense. And,
yes.
Also, I did mention Aaron's clinic is supposed to be secret, and you've been running in and out of it an awful lot. So I think this is a reasonable consequence. The water bears are now aware that it exists; they just don't know where it is.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Since the clock isn't ticking, I will not take any actions.
Yep. Very good.
This is the real word boss of the Bundervest.
Yep.
Okay.
The how many downtime actions have actually been spent? Mushfiq has done 0. Clem has done 1, I believe.
Clem has done 2.
Clem has done 2. Vidrohi has done 3. And Saida has done 2. Yeah.
I'm going to do at least one more because I do need to reduce indulge vice.
So, absolutely. We don't have to go around. I'm just checking in. So Mushfiq has all downtime actions left. Everyone else has spent all of theirs. But we don't have to start with Mushfiq here if there's something that logically flows out of it. But I do think we could.
Yeah, I think, well, one of my downtime actions is... Okay, so... Actually, I think I might need at least 3 if we are going to head off to rescue with that Shahed next time.
Oh yeah, you need to pitch that to us somehow.
Yes, I'm going to pitch that. I think, alright, so what should happen is a conversation between Mushfiq and Zahir where, because, Zahir should be involved.
Do you want me there?
As being close with. Yes, I think Vidrohi should turn up at some point because I don't know if you still wanted to go, like, because you were saying something about we were talking about what were we talking about, that Vidrohi sort of becoming more focused on like protecting the Kitchen people. So I think this could also be a stepping stone on the way. And
I have an idea for how to frame this then, if we want Vidrohi there, which is, I think, quite simple. Like, you usually meet Zahir for food or drinks.
Yeah,
right?
I think it'd just be at Aziz's bar.
Yeah, it could be at Aziz's bar, but if we want a natural way for Vidrohi to be included, it could also be Morphis. Like, you brought him back for, your favorite beverages at the school, which means Vidrohi could be around.
Yeah. Oh yes, that makes a lot of sense. Yes. And okay, I need to do that. I need to clear some stress, and I should get my hook shot fixed as well. So let's just indulge some vice first. This doesn't need to be a scene. This could just be.
Yeah. I think this happens at Morphis, in fact. This is why you've invited Zahir over. Morphis has like some new snacks that he has he's gotten over.
Yeah.
Maybe he's breaking into the Gulab Jamun business, who knows?
Yeah. Alright.
Morphis can break into any business he wants and support it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, not particularly good. Only clears 2.
Mhm.
Okay. And oh yeah, I needed to get the hook shot fixed as well. I don't think that does that need to be any kind of.
It doesn't need to be a scene, no. I mean, you had it put in wax to have it protected. We don't need to do another scene with Miraz. It was implied in that scene that you will come back, he will take off the wax, and he will like finish the job. So
Yeah.
And try to, and he really encourage you to become a cyborg.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I
can roll
think
something for that, tinker or consort, maybe.
Yeah, I think we can have some kind of working understanding with Miraz that the more limbs Mushfiq loses, which you
Yes.
know he probably will.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Well, let's do consort then.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Let's
think-
get Indulge Vice and repair the hookshot out of the way to do your default downtime actions, and then we'll see. So consort.
Okay. So 3.
So that does mean you need to spend a coin to finish it.
Yeah, I think I will because.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
sort
there
of
we
makes
go.
sense.
It's over. Hook.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so.
So your hookshot is repaired. You still have quite a bit of stress. You may want to indulge Vice again, but for now, let's frame the scene, having a conversation with Zahir and Bidruhi nearby.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think Zahir just shows up and maybe at first it's just small talk, just catching up, but maybe the kind of small talk where both know that there's bigger talk coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You do the talking about. I guess your excuse for inviting him over was trying out Morpheus's new supply of whatever it was. So you talk a bit about the food and so on.
This is also why I'm there, because Gulab Jamun enthusiast and rater in chief.
Yes, makes sense. So he does not make these himself. He was just like, I buy them from a guy. I figured I would sell them, and I guess they're not that good since they only cleared 2 stress. So, or maybe I think the likely scenario is they are good. Mushfiq is just sick of them at this point. He eats them all the time. Anyway, yeah. So.
I mean, also, Mushfiq knows that there's a bigger conversation coming up, so it's not as so as relaxing. Yeah.
So Zahir, I guess how we'll frame this to have this be relevant again is that you and Zahir have both been doing your own research into what happened to Shah. I mean, you have quite a lot of information from Gurban, so you have a good idea. But yeah, he leans back and he says, "So I've been looking into, by the way, these fire speaker people, the ones you, well, you know."
Find anything good? Like Gurban only said that he delivered them. Didn't say when, where. I don't think he even knows where they are.
Well, he gave a name, the Pendulum. I know a little bit about her. I think I know where she operates, but she's not an easy woman to get a hold of. I don't know what you want to do with this information. Before I tell you, do you know?
I mean, so Zahir. So what exactly does he mean by do with this information? Like, are we not on the same page for?
Yeah, he's just checking. Like, I assume you have a plan? That's how he asks it, right? Then, do you or do you not? Are we playing this by ear?
Okay.
That's kind of the vibe.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then Mushfiq goes. I mean, I don't think we even know enough to have a plan, right? Then once we talk to the pendulum, once we talk to, was the pendulum the place or the one?
The pendulum is the person, yeah.
Person, yeah. Once we, well, I suppose we'll have to talk to the pendulum and see which way it swings.
I guess so.
Well,
okay, but I think then, if I may interrupt.
Yeah.
I think Bidri says, Okay, but like this pendulum is like person who kidnapped and is holding your ustad, right? Sirikatam?
Well, we don't know about kidnapped. He might have gone there. Might have gone there on his own.
Do you think that's likely?
Well, we know. Well, what do we actually know about the fire speakers? That they're
Yeah, you
some
know that they are.
Yeah. Like, I think Mushfiq would have heard that they're, like, some underground types who are trying to, like, there might be rumors, right, that they're some underground types are trying to blow up the what is it that I said that they were trying to do? Blow up one of the embassies or something?
Yeah, the airship, I think, is one of their
The
targets.
airship, yes, yeah. So,
Uh-huh.
do I think that our Ustad who led us into war against Akros would join a group to blow up an airship?
Okay.
I mean,
then I think Bidrohi
some-
can provide an important piece of information here as a Uduasha native. Okay, Sherekatam. I have heard of these people. I have never met one. But what people say is that they're all about Uduasha being the greatest shit ever made. Okay? It's all about Uduasha. Uduasha this, Uduasha that. They don't even like Iruvia. Okay? It's just Uduasha. Greatest city. So yeah, they they don't like the Akarosi, yeah. And that's why some people think they're cool. But they don't like Kethrisi either. Right? There's like stories I've heard of, like people go to Chainbreaker University. They go from like other parts of Uruvia, Sunfall and all that. They go there and then they just vanish. I don't know if like people who think Uduasha is the greatest thing in like the whole world would like your ustad.
I don't know either, but Tahir leans forward. I'm pretty sure he is still alive and with them in some capacity. At least I think so. I don't know. There's a hitch here. Like Bidrohi mentioned, Chainbreaker University is usually where they hang out, but this pendulum person, all I know it's a she, and I know that she is well connected at the University of Udu. The old-fashioned one. And he raises an eyebrow. And just to establish here, because we haven't seen the universities brought up before, right? Chainbreaker University is the industrial and like slightly more forward-leaning one, which is where a lot of the fire speakers get their destructive technology, like stealing it from there. But the University of Udu is an old-fashioned like cultural institution where people learn like art and music and calligraphy and so on.
Yeah.
Right? And
that's
the people
one
who
that
attend
was somewhat associated with, yeah.
Yeah.
Nerd.
And that university, of course, caters to some of Uduasha's cultural elites, which it seems like this pendulum person belongs to. And he says, I think Ustad Shahid is undercover at the university. I looked into the threads after you mentioned it. There's been some people matching that description hanging around, but it's hard to say. It's a big place. Still, this pendulum definitely swings in that direction.
Well, I think we'd be able to recognize our old master no matter what they've dressed him up as.
Yeah, what
Now
I don't get is, yeah. He goes,
I was gonna say, like,
why dress him up? But
why indeed? Why kidnap him? In fact, why anything? And I think Sherry Cullum at this point is sort of drops his head into his hands and he says, me. And I think just all the things that have happened since he washed up in Udwash in the first place are kind of, he didn't really process it before.
Yeah.
And it's sort of hitting him now, and he just goes, driven out of our homes, we come here, and first, it's a business with the falling star, and I mean, being harassed by master swordsman is one thing, but even the restaurant folk, the Skovlanders, are trying to muscle in on us, and I mean, Skovlanders, I mean, like they're worse off than we are. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get they're refugees like us, and they've got their own grievances, but you've got to draw the line somewhere. You know, like we can't have some a couple of streets with falling buildings on this side of the river by some ports no one even remembers anymore, then what can we have? I don't know why these things keep happening to us, but they do. It's made me realize something. It says, I thought the war was over and that we'd lost, but the war's not over. And we've not lost, we're still losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zahir nods. I think he thinks on this, and he's not the sort of man who like fist pumps and cheers when he agrees with something, but you can tell that he agrees with you.
Yeah,
it's just very quiet and mellow.
Yeah, I think that's kind of seen. That's that kind of scene, and sorry, and we continue is that. And what's worse is it was talking with Al Qadir of all people that made me think of the thing. But I think I've just had enough. I'm not gonna take this lying down anymore. No. And he looks at Zahir and I think gives us sort of sideways glance at Didri as well, and he says, like, we're gonna put things right. And if we can, then we'll at least make the bastards who put us here, we'll make them hurt.
Zahir laughs, like a slow, somber laugh at it, and he drinks the dregs of his chai and kind of slams down the cup. And again, I think I picture him as the sort of person, right, who doesn't do much more cheering than that, but there's an enthusiastic slamming down of the cup, like, yup.
Mm-hmm. I think Bidrohi then says, because he's been listening, and I think he's also in this sort of mood now.
Yeah.
Mushfiq Bhai, do you know why the Skovlanders are trying to muscle in on our turf?
Go on. I don't.
It's because they have nothing. They have nothing, and this city has been organized in such a way that those who have nothing try to take something from other people who have next to nothing. It's not people who have nothing trying to take things from those who have everything. And our people have been fighting the Skovlanders to take back from them or take from them what they have. It's all people who are who have been kicked down and are under big wood, kicking each other down there. And these like fire speaker types, they hate Skovlanders and they hate us just as much, maybe even more, because maybe they think we have we Kethrisi should just acknowledge Uduasha as like greatest place ever and just like know our place, right? I think it's really high time, If people who are also down there in the ground with us try to kick us, we stop that, okay? But like we don't stop that by punching back, okay? We just like stop. We just hold. They try to kick us, we like grab the shoe, okay? And then while they're just like standing up there, hopping on one leg, we hold that shoe and look them in the eye and say, "Stop that, please. This is ridiculous. This is undignified. Let's go beat up someone more powerful than us."
I think this is a good time.
He's giving other people advice on what is undignified. This is how you know, Mushfiq, that you have really you have no leg to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
No,
so
except one leg. Remember, one leg hopping.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, I think this is also a good opportunity to pitch a score against the Jezailchis as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because so Mushfiq hears that, and I think he was a bit somber, and it's kind of sort of cheered up a little bit after hearing this from Bidroy, and goes, "And you'll take their shoe while you're holding their foot as well, will you?" Yeah.
I got like look at these men, and then I extend my shoes, which are like spurs.
Yeah.
Knee length.
No, but you're right, Bidroy. We're not gonna take from people who have next to nothing. We're going to take back what's ours. We're going to take back everything from Omid.
Okay, not where I thought this was going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
please go on.
Yeah.
No, what did you think it was going? Where do you think it was going?
No, I'm talking. That was Bidrohi. That was the Bidrohi voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, okay.
Yeah, Zahir
stands
up. Yeah.
Because
go on.
Okay, now so Mushfiq, again, I think I don't think talking about this kind of thing is really his comfort zone. Bidrohi is here as well. But he's on a roll and he's just powering through it. He says, because I think I've come to realize one other thing. Omid's been here in this city throughout the entire time that I've been here, and we've done nothing. And we've done nothing, and I've done nothing because I thought that I could kill him. And I was afraid that nothing would change. Right? Our friends would still be dead. We'd still be down here in the gutters. And I wouldn't even have anyone to be angry towards anymore. I'd still be a miserable sack of shit. And that'd be that. But it's not about me. We're gonna get Omid because he deserves it. We're going to bring justice to him.
I think Zahir, who is a unobservant guy, right, looks to Bidrohi and he goes, "Well, if we're getting Omid, I mean, he works for someone too. Why not aim higher?"
Oh, you mean that Jasper guy?
I mean, in the end, he's the man who got rich off of the war. Ain't he?
Oh man, I'm so 100% down for that. Listen, he's been here for like 5 years now, right? And like so many people, you should have seen the ghetto when he came to Udwasha and he bought that big house in Basarantu. Everyone being like, I can't fucking believe that man who and then he says a bunch of things that we're going to line out. Can't believe this motherfucker is now living in our city while we are over here is barely trying to survive. I was raised on stories of Jasper. I would love nothing more than to kick his ass.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And kick his ass we will.
Yeah, I think that's the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like hitting Jasper is higher up on the agenda than rescuing Shahed all of a sudden. But
yeah, I think that makes sense also because like we need to gather more information about what's going on with Shahed, no? Whereas Jasper's like right there.
Yeah, it's true. They're tied together. Yeah, it sort of makes sense. Yeah. I figured we would go in to gather info for a score on Ustad Shahed, but we can also, I mean, a way to frame this actually is hitting Jasper might be a way to learn about Shahed also, because there's no way they don't know
Omid would
about each
know.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Omid would know for sure. He's
Yeah.
I think.
Out
I'm
of
going to
character,
also. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
this would be a very funny way to do this. Would be to take Omid aside and say, "Hey, Omid, how would you like to be the head of Omid's onagers?"
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Okay.
thinking about this. We've only actually seen Omid, right? But he is just like a lieutenant or like a right-hand man of Jasper, whom we haven't seen because Jasper is basically too cool a guy to get his hands dirty himself anymore, right? That's the vibe I get from Jasper. Like, Omid is still the mercenary, still the guy who goes out and fights and does the dirty work. But I think Jasper's graduated. He just sits in his house now. He doesn't do
Yeah,
any of this.
these are his descriptors. Old Vino, Parvino, savage.
Hmm.
I think Omid is probably the brains of the operation, then, isn't he? Because Omid was supposed to be like calculating and.
Yeah. I think Omid in many ways is, but he still, hits the street. Whereas Jasper probably somewhat unfairly gets the lion's share of the money, right? I don't even know that Jasper does all that much, but it's like he invested in the mercenary company, so he gets most of the dividends.
He's just a shareholder.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He's a mercenary capitalist?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly what he is. He is a war profiteer. So
An important detail about Jasper is that he's accuracy.
Yeah.
I based him
Alright.
on the many East India Company irregular troops led by these white guys like Hodgson's horse and so on.
Yeah, which is why I think he and Omid have an interesting relationship, right? Because
Omid is Ketrasi as well, we established. Like, he is a traitor to his own people for money. Yeah. Or
Spicy.
well, that's how the story goes. Anyway, okay, so I think that's a very good scene for Mushfiq to work on his trauma clock.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll be rolling. I think I'll be consort makes sense, and
consort makes sense. You've been rolling consort a lot, but I think it's the logical one in this situation too, because you're talking to your friends. So
and because it is my favorite contact, I get a bonus.
Yep, you do
as well, right? Yeah. Okay. That's a 4 and a 3.
2 ticks,
Right.
not bad.
Okay, not bad. Okay,
nice, cool. So then I guess we are setting ourselves up for that score. Meanwhile, we had a scene with Saida and Clem.
Yeah.
We pivot a bit because both of you are working on your respective vices.
Yes.
I'd love the chance to indulge my vice. That'd be really lovely.
Yeah.
But first, I think Clem doesn't know if Woots remembers that they've been squatting in his storage.
Oh my god!
His storage shed.
Yeah.
Clem does not know, and Clem has not put any thought to it. So I think it is time to go and say sorry for what they've done.
So Clem still doesn't have a home, or
they're just taking it as it comes, man.
Yeah.
Life is hard. Life is so
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clem's not wrong. Life is tricky, man.
Very good. All right, so you're going to go talk to Woots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're bringing Saida along because they are, east out of the Rising Moon Source School, probably a nice contract in there for Woots, formalising something there.
Absolutely, yeah. So Woots we've established that he needs like a new source of income. And that basically, it's not that he dislikes you, right? He has a pretty good relationship with you. He just can't afford to let you keep like working on passion projects because now he needs the smithy full time to do like, commissioned work basically. So I guess he's kind of busy, but you catch him. You probably catch him like after the workday's done. Basically, like they've taken down the sun as people do in Uduasha. So it's like too dark to work and you need rest. But he is pretty exhausted. He's had like worked from sun up till sundown, and he's sitting on a rocking chair on his front porch trying to catch a little bit of breeze. But I think we're establishing it's been like a couple of really nasty hot days, so he's not getting much relief.
Yeah, so rather than sneaking around the back as they have been wont to do recently, Clem walks up to the front.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Did you get... Did Aaron send round his little errand boy? I thought... I don't know.
Yeah. It's good work. I've been going at the project the whole day. Strange little errand boy. I remember the one trait we established about Woots was that he talks to himself, so he mutters off on a tangent about the errand boy.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Clem looks at Saida as well. You introduced me to the Rising Room, and I suppose I should pay back the favour. My friend, how do you feel about a contract with them properly this time?
Not to make tools or things, but to make let me take an educated guess, swords?
Yeah, I think I will just say we actually fight with a variety of implements. And I think a rounded education is important. So if you don't want to just make swords, I fight with a sash, sickles, hammers, whatever you would like to make, really.
Sashes, sickles, hammers, fighting. Well, if you place an order for any of those things, I can make them. I'm not really if we are to make swords, I suppose I might require your help, Clem. You're good at that sort of thing, he mumbles. And I think this is your chance to work on the clock, because actually making swords is your vice, and he's not super good at that. So.
Yeah. So I will.
I think was the ulterior motive.
Yeah, the ulterior motive all along.
Let's see how it goes. We are a long-term project to get him. Enough revenue.
Yeah. So gonna consort. So that's just the one vice. So let's see how that goes. That's a 5. So that finishes off my clock, which means I get my vice back.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
This has been.
I indulge it once, overindulge.
Yes.
Oh
got tapped.
The excitement of saying the sentence, I get my vice back.
Yeah. And so he goes like, well, all right, Clem, if you're so eager to help me out, sure, I'll get you the tools. You can even get the vice back. You're good with that. And he goes in the back to get the vice that you need to work. Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Clem rubs their hands together.
Like, I wish you ever heard it so good.
It's incredible.
And Clem, you have your tools again.
And I think they turn to Saida and say, well, I thought I would forge something for you. So come, sit by the fire. I'll make you something.
That's very kind, but you know that I don't know if this makes me sound stupid or more like Bidrohi. You know my sash is very jealous.
Your sash can have... I'm...
A little brother.
Not even going to ask, but you don't have to use it. It's... My people believe that we come from the earth and the iron beneath our feet is... These are my children, and I would give you the gift. Having one of my beginnings, Saida, as a thank you.
Well, in that case, I would be honored. And I will try my best to honor your sword and ensure that my sash is not made jealous at once. I will ensure this. And they're just like, it's gonna happen, man. Yeah. Because the way that Clem said, I'm not even gonna engage with that is, it's a bit concerning. It's, maybe it's finally time for Saida to get some perspective on how insane they sound. Maybe.
We'll see.
This entire session is all about Saida. Have you considered how all this sounds to another human being?
Yes, he really has. I'm not gonna lie.
And if not, you should.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. Okay, let's see the Indulge Vice roll, I guess, as Clem makes a sword.
Please make it. Please be good. Please be good. That's good enough. That'll
It's
do.
a 4,
That'll do
yeah.
for now. A 4. That'll do.
You can Indulge Vice again if you want, but spend a coin or something. It would make sense to spend a coin here, but
please promise me that you're not going to take away my vice again.
No, it doesn't make sense for you to get tapped again if you overindulge. Yeah.
It would make perfect sense and it'd be very funny.
Well, at least you would have cleared stress at that point. But it's up to you if you want to spend a coin and roll again. We can just bake them into the same
I should probably spend a coin and roll again and
make the sword extra nice.
Yeah. This if I roll a 6, I am going to mute myself briefly, okay? Just
What are the chances of that?
Good.
Don't.
Non-zero.
It's just not gonna happen. Don't worry about it.
It's a fight. You clear stress perfectly and don't overindulge. You make a really nice sword for Saida. There you go.
You got exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, as we're doing this, what sort of is it a sword that Saida would wield, or is it something else?
Yeah, that's a good question.
For some reason,
to my items, by the way, a Scottish sword.
Get a whip sword.
What I was imagining in my head for some reason, and I don't know why, is the kind of like butterfly knives that they have in Wing Chun.
Oh, damn! That would be great.
I don't know why that felt like. Knife. Yeah. I don't know why that like the Wing Chun weird sword things. Yeah. I think that fits Saida for some reason.
Yeah, just like a little dagger. That seems great. A Scottish butterfly knife. And now we are establishing that Scotland is full of French people, but also kind of East Asian martial artists.
Well,
and
several.
Also,
when they ride... Sorry, several.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, except when they ride in full plate.
Yeah. Look, it's Savat, okay? It's the ancient French martial art of Savat. That's what these are for.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because they come in pairs, though, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Clem keeps the other one.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
What's the make it worse?
Because they're a paired weapon, and you're keeping what?
Yeah, but it's to fight together. See?
Yeah. Yeah. You all thought that Clem was flirting with Aaron or Mushfiq. Clem's actually flirting with the sword that my demon is bound in. And they're doing it by making the demon jealous.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah. See? You just gotta know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent.
Well, very cool. So yeah, we see the scene of Clem forging a sword throughout the night, while Woots leaves the smithy, goes back to his house, shakes his head as these weird people he hangs out with, muttering to himself. But at least he has good income now. So
yeah, very good.
All right, I guess that's the scene.
Yeah, and then I think because I got given this very nice sword, I will say to Clementine, would you like to come with me to eat a mango?
Or you're inviting
I'd
Clem
nothing
along.
more.
Yeah.
To come and eat a mango with you.
Lovely. And then I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, this isn't flirting. You know it's not flirting, right?
To your sash? Is that what you're saying this to?
Well, you know what? If they all want to misunderstand it as maybe to my sash or to Clementine, either's fine.
Yep.
I'm doing this for us, baby.
Oh, no.
Very good. So is your plan to actually go to the Blackwood with Clem? Are you eating the mango straight from the tree? Or
I think so, because I've just got access, right?
Does Clem have access?
the Empire is your vice purveyor, and you
Yeah.
have
Oh,
a
for fuck's
diplomatic
sake.
pass.
Yes.
I mean, I think that straight up is the case now. The Empire controls the forest, so this is the vice
Yeah.
purveyor in the sense that it's the person who controls your vice.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So, I think maybe what I'll do actually is I will go to the edge of the forest, and I will ceremonially say something like, "The ambassador from the Court of Lies seeks entrance into the Blackwood," and then presumably, when absolutely nothing happens, I'm gonna say, "This is my guest, Clementine of the Golden Eyes,"
Yeah,
and then
and
go in and
yeah, and absolutely nothing happens.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
Clem,
Mhm.
have you been like we saw you briefly go down to the cat's cradle before? But do you
Yeah.
think you have been to the area around the well before, where these trees grow and where they get the direct sunlight that also slightly singes them because they're too close to it?
Yeah. Well, I've been having dreams. I think I've been here before, but not physically
Ah, yeah,
been here.
perfect.
Mm.
So you recognize this vaguely from dreams, this like haunting, weird. This is not a mangrove forest. This is not Ketrisi, right? This is
Yeah.
these are stately mango trees, slightly singed, slightly burned, which is how the mango gets its ripest flavor because it gets so much sunlight. But it is a creepy and unsettling place, and I think as Saida, as you announce this,
Mhm.
you will know the path. It's not that there is like a physical path appearing for you. You just
Sure.
kind of know the way into the woods. You know which way to walk, and you
Mhm.
just have an instinctive sense of it.
Makes
And
sense.
so, yeah, you pass into the woods, and I think the two of you are going to meet the creature here.
Oh. Yes.
Uh,
I love to meet a creature.
Yeah,
Creatures.
yes. And I think the place that you will come to is a large mango tree from which is hanging ropes and chains. And there are like blood stains on the bark from various sacrificial rituals because like this is a supernatural creature that kills trespassers in various gruesome ways. It almost did it
Yes.
to Ifede. So
Yes.
there is like a sacrificial tree. Like, yeah, very visibly so. And it's an unsettling location, to be sure.
Yes.
And
Great.
this hairless, nearly nude woman is sitting.
Woman-shaped creature. Let's be clear.
Yeah, woman-shaped creature is sitting cross-legged at the base of the tree, cradling mangoes like babies.
This is. If you think that you can do anything to a mango that will make me think, maybe this is not a good idea, you are wrong.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just pointing out this.
I'm just saying.
The Empire has a strange relationship to this place. Okay.
Great. So
What if
do
you
I.
took a mango and you boiled it for 12 hours and then you served it slathered in mayonnaise?
I think I've had something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's fine. I would resent the person who did it, but I wouldn't resent the mango.
Very good. Anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
The Empire does not look up, but it's very clearly like you could pick them from the trees, or you could take the ones that it itself has picked.
Oh.
It does not really acknowledge your presence. It is just sitting there, like it's not cooing these, like treating like a baby or anything, right? It's just cradling in its arms and looks dispassionately straight ahead with a blank expression. Could almost be a statue. Like it probably doesn't even look like a person right now.
Sure. Yeah. I will bow, and I will say, I beg of your indulgence. A mango for me, which I will share with my friend. And I think I'm fine to take the one that she's picked.
Yeah. Very good.
I
think, roll your vice roll and we'll see how this goes. Okay. I think. But she looks up and she will, for the first time, see and study Clem. And you roll a 6. So you clear the most stress you possibly can.
Which is a fair amount. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, very good. I've still got 4 stress, but it's great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to spend 1 point here because it's an extra downtime action. So I forgot to do that, but I'm doing that now.
Yeah, makes sense. And I think she speaks then as she hands you the mango. There's no problem there. But she speaks and she says, Vizier, I acknowledge your position, but I wonder of your philosophies. I smell them on you. They are not the king of lies.
What could be more befitting of the vizier of the court of lies than loyalty through disloyalty?
Yeah, their eyes turn towards Clem, and I think she asks a question straight of Clem, like pointedly ignoring Saida after this court of lies thing. Maybe because, that makes sense, or maybe because I'm not getting a straight answer from you. It's hard to read her face. But she turns to Clem, and she says, what does it mean to you?
Mango, forest,
The ending,
the ending.
the faith.
Nothing ends, nothing begins. We are all just existing.
That could be faith, she says, and she gets up and she moves, like, again, in quick bursts of speed. So now she's just standing opposite you, like almost smelling your face. And she says, I am concerned with faith. Too many people in the city confuse faith and power. They are not the same. Do you have faith?
I have faith in my roots, and I have faith in my eyes, and I have faith in my in my steel, and I think you would expect Clem to say faith in themselves at this moment, but they pause and don't finish the sentence.
Yeah. And the Empire says, steel. Is steel power or philosophy? And it's almost rhetorical. You can answer if her if you wish, but it seems like she is thinking on this like a puzzle to herself.
Weird question.
Uh-huh.
Do I recognise her?
I mean, you could roll something for that.
Can I roll to recognise?
Oh my god! You know what? I'm gonna help you.
Sure. Let's call it a fortune roll here, because I think this is more a question of degrees of success than risk. And the higher you roll, the more you can tell me.
I think the interesting thing here is that it implies, if this role is possible at all, that it implies that the umpire has not always lived in the Blackwood.
Yeah.
Or Clementine's having some really weird dreams.
Yeah, or you met elsewhere, right? But we have established that the umpire is a physical being, at least mostly. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think study makes sense here.
Yeah. Study as a fortune roll with a bonus die from Saida.
Wonderful. Let's see. It's a standard one bonus die, so that is just the one die. Ooh, yeah. Good results. Good results.
Okay. So you can tell me what you have in mind, and then I will twist it.
I think the forests remind Clem of the plains of Severus, and that they have seen something like what they see in front of them in their dreams. So that's what I was going off of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And the way I will twist this is that Severus has, you have established this, the faith comes from the earth. And, there is this whole thing about ancestors. And I think the thing you will recognize about the Empire here is it is tied to the earth too. Like, she is tied to the earth and to the trees. And the reason that you recognize her is not only because of your dreams, like of the more present times, but because there is something like her in Severus. So it's not that you have seen necessarily this specific entity before, but you understand that there is a kind of entity to this, and that they have a heraldry and a history of their own.
Noble. Hinged.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And
And-
I would,
yeah.
I'd like to say to the umpire,
Mhm.
tell me, do you look to the horizon too? Can you see the sky from here?
Yes. She says, almost like for a second looking almost offended by the question. And you have her full attention, her eyes bore into you.
There's definitely a trickle of sweat going down Clem's face as they are resolutely staring right into the face of danger and probably death.
Hmm.
Don't make my vice purveyor kill you, Clem. That would be bad.
And
That would be bad.
yes, do you say anything else to her, or are you satisfied with her yes?
Clem nods.
Mhm.
It's good. I'm glad you can see the sky.
Yeah.
And breaks eye contact.
Yeah. I think she turns and she strides backwards. And okay, yeah, Saida, you have been given a mango, right? We have rolled your indulge vice, but I don't think you've actually eaten it yet.
No. I think I'm going to spend my coin to eat the mango, if that's okay.
Fair enough, rolling a second indulge vice roll. And I think what happens here is that the umpire like snatches the mango away from you for a second, and then, and I don't know why this is the phrase I'm going to use, but she flays the mango. She does not peel it.
God, that's
This
terrible.
is
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Ah, excellent. Okay.
Is it
this
like that scene in Buffy where Dark Willow flays Warren? Just flick of the hand, skin comes off. That's what
I
I'm
haven't seen that scene, but yeah, something like it. And the skin is going to get pinned to a tree, like the skin of the mango. And there are words written on it. They were not there. They're not there by magic. It is her composing poetry on the skin of a mango.
Oh my god. So you're saying I definitely shouldn't kiss her? That's what you're saying. It's bad, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Just confirming.
Mhm.
Okay, cool,
Maybe.
cool.
I'm not saying one thing or another.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, until the poetry, I was like, could go either way. But like mango poetry, okay, I see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the mango has been flayed and is ready for eating.
Yes, great. Okay, I'm gonna roll another indulge vice to see how well the eating goes.
Mm-hmm.
I overindulged.
Nah. Perfect. Okay.
I think it'd be funny if this was heat somehow. I don't know how, but I think it'd be funny.
The poem is about how J. Clev knows.
Yes. You know what? You said that, and I love it. The taking heat from overindulgence here gives you a wanted level.
Yes, also
I want to
true.
do it.
Yeah,
I want to do
Yes.
it. We're not reducing
Do
heat.
it.
This is
Good.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
Great.
have a second wanted level because of this overindulgence, and she writes a poem on the skin of the mango about stolen earth, and I think this is one of those. Apparently the umpire is a good poet, but so I'm not going to recap the poem because I can't make up a good enough one on the fly. But she will hand you, or not hand it to you. Actually, she will just leave it on the tree for you to read, and then I think she just walks away.
Give it 5 seconds of silence, and then we've got several months to compose this poem, and then you can just like paste it in. I think that's great. I think you should just do that.
Mm-hmm. Good. There's the silence.
I also
pasted in.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so she hands she shows you the poem, and what it will imply, at least, is that Jezailchis knows about you, and you have taken his daughter, and he is coming for you. And this is like her way of like thanking you.
Yeah,
I
she's
think,
warning me, right?
for introducing
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah. Great. Fantastic.
Yeah. It is also the case that, and you know this from the lore of the Empire, she issues people challenges and games,
Yes,
and if they fail them, they
it's
go on the
bad.
tree. So,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
mhm. So maybe this is
Mm,
also a challenge or a game of sorts.
yes, this makes sense also. Very good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
great. Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
I am gonna eat this mango with great fucking gusto. And then, like, sheepishly pass Clem about a third of it, having realized that I promised
Yeah.
the half. And then, like, oh, I guess, okay, you can have some of my incredible, like overindulgence, but like mango. I rolled 2 6s basically, right? Like, that's how good getting the mango relieved my stress, and then eating it cleared my stress.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, this is mango raised to be so delicious that it's worth risking your life for an encounter with a
Correct.
supernatural being over it. This is some good
Otherwise
shit.
known as mango. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is really, really
Oh
perfect
yeah.
mango.
Yeah. Absolutely. You better believe it.
Yeah.
Listen, if all mango was this good, that would defeat the point of the Empire. Okay?
Mm.
Sure, but like all mango is this good, and the umpire is a confidence trickster.
I'm sorry to say, Tree, that actually all mango is not so good. It's really hard to find good mango over here.
Yeah, I was gonna
Tree
say
over
his
there
biggest dude
with his
is
Indian privilege, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please think
Fair
about the
enough.
first
Like,
world.
I have
Well,
to tell my parents to like just hoard mango
Smuggle
for me.
mango?
There. No, just hoard
Yeah.
it for me and preserve it so that I can have it when I go back.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
so,
I smuggle mango. Also for legal purposes, that's a lie.
Okay.
well,
Mhm.
the Empire we have established is the gatekeeper of Indian privilege. So there you go.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Mm,
Yes.
perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, how much time do we have left in this session?
About 20 minutes. Also, I'm a bit hungry. I can still
Yeah.
play, but I am a bit hungry.
Yeah, about 20 minutes. That
Okay.
sounds about right.
Then I won't make it a scene of indulging vice then.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to flag ahead that I do think, obviously because of other things we didn't have it, but I do need to have this conversation with Moonlit at some point.
Yeah.
I thought a nice idea for it might have been to pair the indulge vice somehow, because she also has been wanting to get Mumtaz in touch with her culture.
I think we
and
can
so
do
on.
that now, and then we can make it the last scene, and then next session.
Yeah, I
we
think that's
gather
fine.
information
Yeah.
for a score and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
I
then
like
the last
that.
scene? Is there anything else people wanted? Is there any
I'm
unfinished business?
Yeah, I think we're done with downtime after this then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so I have an idea I think the most logical way to have this be a conversation with Moonlit is for you to have your girlfriend over again, right? She comes to
Yeah.
visit you,
Yeah.
and then Moonlit sees this and has been talking about it. Yeah.
No, I think I would have arranged a dinner. Like, I think I would have told my mother about this,
Okay.
you've been talking about how we should be doing this properly and how we should, educate her. I don't know much about it as well. Let's just have a proper family dinner.
Okay, yeah. So she's meeting your parents. That's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Good.
parent. And the reason this costs me crew coin is because I tell Mushfiq Bhai to go away for the evening. And
you gotta
just
pay.
tell me if this is I think if this is fine. I would like Mushfiq to spend too much money on food. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you insist.
Yeah.
You know what? If it's okay, I actually think we all go out for crew dinner without Bitrohi.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
That's
And
like
when you say crew dinner, you mean
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Mona's
afraid?
there?
Yeah, Mona's there.
Yeah.
Bhejal.
I think Bhejal's cooking for us.
Okay.
I think he's
Oh
cooking.
yeah. Okay, perfect. Spend 2 crew coin and let's have Mushfiq indulge Vice again. Because
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I've taken it out. I've taken it out.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
let's roll for Mushfiq first and just
Yes.
let's see how good this dinner away is. Oh, it's only a 2.
It is,
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
see,
know
that's what
indulge.
happens. I mean, you
Yeah.
didn't have the life of the party there.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's because Pejol's still in training, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. Pejal
Yeah.
is, I mean, he is like a junior cook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He makes good enough food to reduce stress, but it's not amazing food.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
He has not yet unlocked Indian
He
privilege.
burns most of the onions that you buy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's a windless time, right? I think a lot of the river trade that brings the food from Kethris is wind powered.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's slow. Prices are
Yeah.
high.
Right.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, so Bidruhi is having a dinner with just Momtaz and Moonlit and you.
And I guess my sister's there too.
Yeah.
Uzra. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and presumably Moss would be here if Moss was in the city, but alas, she is not.
Too soon, Prince.
Yes.
Mhm.
Too
It's
soon.
always gonna be too soon though, so don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, let's do your Indulge Vice roll first, just to get it out of the way, okay?
Yeah, and that'll color the scene, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking an extra dice for Moonlit. I think
Yep.
that's fair.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It's a 6. You clear
This
all of
goes
your
well.
stress. Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, I think what happens is Momtaz is on her best, most presentable behavior.
Mhm.
She has brought over some gifts, and I think reading between the lines of what you says, her plan of like scamming Anish and Rakis out of a lot of money is going really well. Where it's like he
Yeah.
gives her romantic, expensive presents, and then she sells them. And
The Blue Smoke Troop are doing so well out of
Yeah.
this.
yeah,
In
and
fact,
she's like stealing small things from his house and so on. Yeah.
even my mother's heard of them now.
hmm
Nice.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't think she reads newspapers. Or maybe she does. There are newspapers. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think the interesting scene here is with your mother, not with Momtaz. But I think she is, a perfect, presentable girlfriend. She lets you know how well things have been going. She's brought like presents for your sister and your mother, and really puts the charm offensive on.
Mhm.
But I think we pick up the scene with your mother when she leaves. I think that's the logical, or do you prefer her to
Yeah.
still be in the scene? I think it makes sense that it's like, good night. I had a
Yeah.
lovely time. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then we see you stand in the doorway with your mother behind you, and
Yeah.
she watches Momtaz leave, and she kind of sighs quietly, and she says, "Do you really like her, Bidruhi? It seems like you do."
Bidjoy thinks about this for a moment.
Mhm.
I do quite like her, it's true. But I think you're asking, like, is this woman my future? Something like that?
Well, something like that.
Honestly, Ma, I don't know. Like, did you know when... we never said what Moss's father's name was. Did
No,
we?
no, we didn't actually. I don't think it's spoken of very much, but I imagine it's similar to Moss, because I think Moss's father was also one of the walkers, right? One of the weird
Yeah,
dark
makes sense.
riders.
I think his name was then Feather that drifts out and off and floats on the lake. And I think I would call him not father, obviously. But I think I'd call him Feather Uncle. I think that's probably fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think then I'd say, did you know with Feather Uncle?
There is.
And I think like at this point we're moving in and I'm like, helping clear up the table and so on.
Yeah. And I think she freezes up a little bit, and there is like a discomfort coming over her. And she says, "No, I didn't know anything. I was too young."
You were like a year younger than me, no?
Yes. But in Uduasha you have to grow up fast.
I do. It's true. I think, Ma, I think I am very. I think in many ways I am grown up, right? Like I helped you with the house, helped father with his school. Now, helping the community, trying to keep it safe, all these things. Like I know you hear the stories, right? You never ask me about them, but I know you know what's been happening. And you know that I'm growing up very fast. And like, I don't know, I think it's okay if I'm a little bit like not grown up about this. I just like I know you worry, and I know it's important, right? And you don't want me to make mistakes, but like I guess all I'm asking is like, even if this is a mistake, even if Mumtaz and all that doesn't work out, like let me make the mistake. Like let me see how it goes, right? Will you is that okay?
She sits down, and there's a heaviness to how she sits down, like more than her physical size. She is large and strong.
Mm-hmm.
She seems weighed down, and she sinks into a chair, and she says, This is the kind of mistake I'd hope you would be making. I have heard the stories, she says, and she looks up at you, and there is a lot of emotions in her expression, which she clearly like can't handle.
Mm-hmm. I think I kind of like sink down in front of her, sit down. Like I don't know. I think trying to decide on my knee or on like one knee. I think on one knee, take her hand, and I say,
Mm-hmm.
You heard that I've been using the sword.
Yes, that is, it's more important. She seems like a lovely girl, she says, and she turns her head, immediately going, yes, we should talk about this, but then it's too difficult to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And she tries to change the subject back to Mumtaz.
Yeah, I think I squeeze her hand and I say, I know that that it hurts you, right? I don't want to be doing this, really. I don't know if you believe me, but like, I wish I didn't have to do it, but someone has to do it. And I'm good at it. And like, they were both people who tried to do bad things to us, tried to kill us. And like, I didn't choose that to happen, that people would try to kill us. But, it's happening, and like, I don't know other ways to stop it. I promise you that I don't enjoy it. I promise you that I will never enjoy it.
She nods her head slowly, and she says, I hope you won't. It's just, your father, well, it was different with him. It was, and she looks at you, and an expression of terrible guilt wells up on her face. And she says, well, he died, didn't he?
He did die. But I don't know if he had been like... Yeah. I think then Bidrohi doesn't have much to say about that either, because,
Yeah. And
he can go around telling people, my dad died like a little bitch and so on.
Yeah.
And all that, but like this is in the moment.
Yeah. There is this long tension between you as she searches your face for this exact sentiment, right? And she says, are you better off without him?
Okay, I'm going to roll
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to roll a fortune.
Okay.
Just to guide me. I'm not going to bind myself by the result, but maybe I'll be inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a crit though. Yeah, okay. Then I think Bidruhi says, I'm not better off without a dad. I think I would have liked to have the dad that he could have been. But what we got was Ramu the Golden. And I think we're all better off without Ramu the Golden.
I think as you say that, she begins to cry. And she is not capable of telling you this with words.
Mm-hmm.
But as the tears fall from her face, you realize that the reason she feels guilty is she's happy he died. And she is not able to reconcile that with her self-image. She's a good wife, a good mother, right? You shouldn't be happy when the father of your child dies.
Yeah. I think then Bidruhi just puts his face in her lap. I don't know what Uzra's doing. Probably Uzra should not be here.
Yeah, I think she is
Playing with her
silently
new
putting
toy.
away. No, she is silently putting away the dishes because this is the
Oh,
kind
okay.
of fucked up family dynamic we have, right?
No!
Where she can sort of hear this is happening, but also knows she should stay out of it.
No.
Yeah.
Shit, fuck. Yeah, I think I would have said, I think I would like, as Zoheb, I would like to have had Bidruhi say, take your toy, go out.
Okay.
However, I don't really think Bidruhi would have said that. I think he's too caught up. Being honest, to be honest.
But I think, Moonlit puts a hand on your head and she cries and is just, never was good with words. But she says, whatever with that girl and the future, just be a better man.
Bidruhi really, really wants to say that's fucking easy, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
she has complicated feelings about Ramu, though. It's not easy to her. Yeah.
Because honestly, I think Bidruhi's also got some complications here because I don't think he's entirely fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm still continuing his legacy. I think there is something more complicated here than he expresses.
Yeah, and the fact that you are continuing his legacy is what giving your mother so much grief. So.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of that is actually said. I think it is silent between you as she strokes your hair and for the first time in a very long time shows you some amount of physical intimacy.
That's nice. We all love that. I'm not going to cry after this. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think that's the scene. I think she is not good with emotions or words, but you did reach through to her today.
Good.
Yeah, powerful scene.
Thank you for it.
That was good stuff. Yeah. Thank you for setting it
Glad
up.
that-
I enjoyed that.
I'm glad that we made time for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was also thinking Moonlit and Bidruhi have been growing further and further apart, but even if this didn't bring them together, it makes very clear why, I think. Ramu still casts a long shadow over this family. So. Yeah.
Tall man too.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
It's a shame I turned out to be a little guy.
I don't know if you're done growing.
Yeah. Probably not. Yeah, lovely scene.
Early 20s growth spurt.
Yeah.
Lovely scene, lovely session. I think we had a lot of funny and poignant and powerful scenes, and I think we've set ourselves up for this to go on in an interesting way. We had both fun scenes and scenes that meaningfully determine where the story's going, and I enjoyed it all. But before I start gushing over the scene and we start talking about it and so on, we will say goodbye to people who are not subscribed to our Patreon. And if you are subscribed to our Patreon, you get to join us for that part too. So do. It's great. Love it. Okay. Goodbye.
Super cheap. Bye.
Bye.
Here close the doors to the House of Endings. The those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Soap, Psalmistry, called Tree, and Salty. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.